Patton Sports Videocast is brought to you by Snap Laces. Snap Laces' elite lacing system was designed for world-class athletes. They come in hundreds of color combinations so you can perform well and look great at the same time. Buy a set online today by clicking through the top image on mopattonsports.com. LT360 is a health and weight loss company based in Brentwood, led by Coach Scott Oatsvall and Brent High. They have helped more than 700 clients in the last year get healthy, lose weight, and feel better with an all-natural program and simple approach to exercise and nutrition. LT360 offers free health and wellness seminars each week. For more information, visit their website at lt360.com or call them at 615-312-8244. Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe, Nashville's answer to fast, friendly, healthy comfort food. With a menu featuring assorted grilled meats, fresh veggies, and a dash of inspiration, Taziki's casual dining is perfect for lunch, before a movie, or a dinner featuring laughter and great memories. Originality is our nationality. With 7 Middle Tennessee locations, one of them is near you. Check www.tazikiscafe.com to select your nearest location and next favorite dish.
I want to welcome everybody into Patton Sports Videocast, the postseason edition. You may recognize the surroundings. You may even recognize this dude here. We liked what we did with the video last week. Hope y'all did too. We had Philip Pelkey, the Centennial Wrestling coach. We had Ronnie Sigenthaler, the Brentwood girls basketball coach, and Pete Froden, the Centennial boys basketball coach. And we kind of liked that concept, so we thought we'd broaden it out a little bit. We've got John Kramer, the wrestling coach over here at Wilson Central. We are here in Gladeville. Going to talk a little wrestling here as we head into the Williamson County Ag Expo and the individual state tournaments this weekend. John, appreciate you taking a minute to chat with us a little bit about your guys and that sport this week. You got 10 guys going in there.
I do.
Coming off of the state duels, you guys didn't finish the way you would have liked. I thought 4th was pretty cool. You didn't, but you know, over the last 2 weeks coming off of that, what have this 2 weeks been like for you guys going through that region up at Northeast and getting ready for the state this week?
Well, actually, with state duels being over, it takes a lot of pressure off us because we're not doing the team concept, and now it's just an individual thing. So, you know, each wrestler, it's up to them how they're going to finish. It's a whole new season starting tomorrow.
At the same time, you've been a relatively young team this year. Getting some of those guys down to the ag, getting in that environment, you feel like that helps y'all when you go back this weekend?
Oh, I do. Yeah, you know, any tournament that size, you take a young kid to, it's gonna scare them a little bit. So we've already been through that. They're going here. You know, it's just another tournament to them now.
Who are some of your guys that you've been particularly pleased with this year?
All of our freshmen. You know, we started 5 freshmen this year, and they all had really good years. You know, 2 of them are real close to winning 60 matches this year. 1 was in the 40s, 2 were in the 30s. So anytime that happens is great. But also Zach Linton, ranked number 1 this year. He has just been on a tear this year. So we're really happy with him. Caleb Berta, Nick King, our other 2 seniors. Colin Miller, he was a sophomore this year. Couldn't compete at regionals. He fractured 2 ribs at state duels, but he did beat the region champ at 195 and the region champ at 220 during the season. So we'll get him back next year, so we're real happy with him too.
Okay. You talked about Zach at 170, and this is a guy who's got a chance to do some damage this weekend.
Right.
I mean, talk a little bit about what you're seeing out of him, what you like out of him right now.
He prepares for his matches better than anyone I've seen. He is mentally ready when he hits the mat. He pushes himself every day in practice. I don't think I've ever had anybody work harder than him. And he's so good on his feet. You know, and he's hard to score on. He's only given up 2 takedowns this year as offensive points against him. Every other point that's been scored on him, he has cut the guy and gave him that point.
That's pretty dominant. You know, you talked about your group of freshmen, and one of them is particularly close to you, I know. Talk about Michael Kramer, your 285 freshman.
My youngest son, he came up this year as a heavyweight, as you know. I was really worried when the season started. Anytime you have a 15-year-old boy who's weighing 280 wrestling heavyweight. He's going to be wrestling men all season long, and he's really stepped up to the challenge this year. He's 57-5 right now. Had a great year, and he's going in with a real lot of confidence into the state tournament.
Do you feel like he's a guy that can navigate that 32-man bracket and get to a championship matchup with a Boykin?
That match will, if he wins his first two, will happen in the quarterfinals.
You know, when you see the draw and you see that kind of thing, and you kind of do your projections and that kind of thing, it's kind of tough when those matchups happen early.
Right.
And we had one of those a couple of years ago, I think, with a couple of 220s that met way too early. And it's a blind draw, so there's not a whole lot of control over that. But there are just some matchups that you feel like, as you look at it, deserve to be championship matchups. Outside of Wilson Central, who are some guys that you saw at y'all's region this past weekend that you feel like are people to keep an eye out for?
All four of, well, actually, Braden Palmer, the Rippies from Beach, Zach Wilkins from Mount Juliet. He's really tough. But as far as the region goes, I mean, this side of the district won 12 of the 14 championships.
So that was primarily you and Beach, is that? And then,
we had 5,
like you said,
Beach had 5, Mount Juliet had 2.
Okay. So kind of speaks well for what this district has been able to do.
Right.
And it kind of reflects what you guys have done year after year over the past little bit. Is that fair to say?
Oh, absolutely. You know, and we work well with Beach. We do a lot of off-season stuff with them for years. Mount Juliet is coming along. You know, they had a real good end of their season this year. So.
We've talked, Glenn and I have talked on some podcasts and that kind of thing. I've talked to other coaches, and so much wrestling success goes back to what you do in the off season, what you do in the summers, that kind of thing. And the things that you guys do up here, bringing in guys from Penn State and that kind of thing, the camps that y'all have, I think are as pivotal to the development of wrestling in Middle Tennessee over the last 5-8 years as anything that anybody's done. I think you guys are really to be commended for that, because a lot of folks want to improve their programs and their kids. I think you guys do a really great job of reaching out and just trying to elevate the sport across the board.
Anything we do, we let anyone in the state can come. If we have a clinic, everybody's invited. You know, if we do what's called fight night here in the off season, you know, anybody in the state's invited to come and get some live matches in. So, I mean, it's just, we feel wrestling other people gives us a different view on the coaching in another school or different types of techniques. So it makes us better and it makes them better.
And like you said, it helps everybody. It makes everybody better, and it makes your kids better because they're seeing the best folks. And I've been to some of those fight nights, and you get some pretty good folks in here.
Yeah, it's usually a pretty good time.
Yeah. Before we get away from wrestling, I want to let you know who our Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe Mo Patton Sports Wrestler of the Week is this week, and you're probably familiar with him. Blackman's Junior 160-pounder Matthew Sells pinned his way through the Region 5 AAA tournament over at Cookville last week. Longest match was 1:10. 4 first-round pins over there for Matthew. He went 22 seconds, 58 seconds, 1:10 in the semis, and 47 seconds in the championship match. So Matthew Sells, obviously a kid to watch at 160 in the AAA tournament this weekend down at the Ag Expo. He's our Mo Patton Sports Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe Wrestler of the Week. We'll be getting him a gift card to Taziki's. 7 locations in Nashville in the Middle Tennessee area. One of them's near Matthew, one of them's near you. Be sure and check it out. John, appreciate it again. I'll see you this weekend down at the Ag. We'll be back with some hoops.
John Mayer Builders proudly sponsors Mo Patton Sports Videocast. With over 1,500 homes built in Middle Tennessee, John Mayer Builders knows the importance of families and communities. They have numerous business awards to their credit, proving that John Mayer Builders is built to win. Like them on Facebook. John Mayer Builders, our reputation is building.
Southern Athletic Fields originated in 1996 when Bill Marbett formed a company specializing in baseball and softball field materials. SAF has since grown and now has sales reps to cover over 12 states with products servicing many outdoor sports. Southern Athletic Fields takes great pride in working with our customers to achieve the best athletic field possible. Visit our website at www.southern-athleticfields.com or like them on Facebook. Dirt, you gotta love it.
Great teams have talent. They also have the necessary tools for success. BSN Sports delivers these tools whether your team needs uniforms, apparel, or athletic equipment to achieve greatness. Just like a winning teammate, BSN Sports is there for you. Their unmatched service ensures that you have best-in-class equipment for championship-level performance, plus uniforms and athletic apparel from the best brands in the industry to look your best when hoisting your trophy. The law practice of Allen D. Hall, PLC is grounded in providing exceptional legal services with the utmost trust and integrity. Legal services Allen provides include employment law, confidential investigations, general business law, risk management, and regulatory policy interpretation and drafting. Ultimately, if you need consulting solutions, Allen D. Hall needs to be your choice.
Hey, we're back. We're over here at Wilson Central talking little girls hoops. We've mentioned this guy's name a lot on our podcasts, our video casts, and that kind of thing. And, you know, when you're 26-0, people talk about you. John Wild, the girls coach over here at Wilson Central. Lady Wildcats heading into postseason play here. They've had a great year. What's this, your second year now?
Second year here.
Second year here. Won a couple of state championships, won one over at Riverdale a few years ago. One of the few coaches in Tennessee to win on both the boys and girls side state championships. So I'm standing in the presence of greatness here. But John, talk a little bit from the coaching standpoint about this team that you put together this year.
I think the thing that stands out about this bunch is that they really have bought into their role. And, you know, they're not a team that's going to ooh you and awe you to death. But I think they're a bunch that just has had a great deal of role acceptance. They've stayed in their box, you know, and they don't try to get too far out of that box. They're extremely unselfish. They know Kendall and Addison are going to shoot the ball, you know, more than anybody else, and considerably more. And you know, they don't have a problem with that. And you know, it's fun when you can get a bunch of kids to buy into a system and play within themselves, particularly as you get toward the tournaments.
You know, when you've got a player like a Kendall Spray, it's easy for things to go the other way too. And I'm sure you've not necessarily coached in that situation, but seen that where it does kind of go the other way and people do kind of struggle with role acceptance.
Well, definitely. You know, particularly when you got a kid averaging 27 points a game and has done all the stuff she's done. But, you know, our kids are all about the team's ability to do well. And they put themselves aside. They're very selfless kids. And, you know, it's been a pleasure, and I just hope we can ride this thing out a couple more weeks.
It's tough to argue with 26-0.
You know, again, it's a credit to them. It's nothing I've done. You know, we can orchestrate it and maestro it all we want, but they've got to follow, and they've done a beautiful job.
Was there a point during the preseason, during the season, when you kind of said to yourself, you know, we got a chance to be pretty special?
I think there was a couple moments, maybe over Christmas when we played over at Page and we played Harpeth Hall, and Kendall had that big night. Mm-hmm. But we really played well, and it wasn't just offensively, it was defensively, it was rebounding the basketball, and that was a moment. Then I think you take it maybe 3 weeks on down the line when we played over at Mount Juliet, and you know, big crowd and 9 AAA game. It's, you know, meant a lot to both communities here forever, and we went over there, and I thought we played well defensively in the second half. And I've always been a firm believer that the farther you move along, you're going to have to be able to defend at 20 feet. And I thought we did a really good job of that in the second half and eliminating second shots and that sort of thing. And I guess you could pinpoint those 2 occasions to where I thought we may have a chance to, you know, make a run for this thing in the tournament. You
know, you talk about that Harpeth Hall game over at Page during the holidays and the big game that you refer to. Kendall scores 54, she hits 14 threes, which set a single game state high school record. And I think she outscored Harpeth Hall, which kind of goes back to your defensive point that you were making.
Yeah, she did. It was one of those things you just kind of want to sit back and cross your legs and watch because it's never really going to happen again. And I'm going to tell you, she's had a lot of accolades. She scored a lot of points. But I'll say this about Kendall. She's the first one in the locker room to hang up laundry. She's the first one in a pregame meal to make sure everybody's got a bottle of water, and she's going to be the one cleaning up, after the kids have eaten and leaving it cleaner than they found it and that sort of thing. And when you got a kid that can do those kind of things, do those dirty jobs per se, as Coach Meyer always said, then I think you've got something special.
You talk about the accolades. She was in Sports Illustrated's Faces in the Crowd earlier this year. She's a Miss Basketball finalist. She signed with Tennessee Martin, and she's fun to watch. You guys are ranked number 2 in the state in the last AP Top 10 AAA poll. 4 teams from your old district, 7 AAA.
That four-headed monster.
Talk about
and 5 if you want to throw in Smyrna.
Yeah, and it has become. Yeah. Stewart's Creek has really emerged.
Right,
You knew about. Obviously, you know about Blackman. They're number 1. They played Oakland in the state finals last year. You know about Riverdale, your old stomping grounds. But all of a sudden, Stewart's Creek jumps up and has a week that they'll never forget, beating Blackman and Riverdale.
Both, yeah.
And again, like you said, Smyrna's kind of hovering out there with the former coach here, Bud Brandon, at the helm. So you got to be glad you don't have to go through there, I guess, huh?
Yeah. No, I tell you, it's quite a place, and not only quite a place in Tennessee, but I think nationwide, and not only in basketball, boys and girls, but football, and softball, and baseball. And I tell you what, it's a credit to the kids' work ethic. I think starting at the young ages, where success kind of has bred success, where you see kids like Alexa Middleton. You got younger kids that want to aspire to, do the things she did, and they're driving competitiveness at a younger level to try to get better. And then on the football side, what Juwan Jennings did and Jack Jones at Oakland, and I'm just throwing off names off the top of my head. Then you got younger kids that idolize those kids, and I think it's a success, kind of pattern success type thing, where you got younger kids that see that, and they realize that they got to get in the weight room or get in the gym and work to get to that level. And I think you got great coaches too. I think Jennifer Grandstaff is maybe one of the best high school coaches on the girls' side that I've ever been around. She is just a brilliant mind. I think that, particularly in the postseason, she's done just such a great job, year in and year out, and I respect her greatly. And then, on the boys' side, Barry Wortman. I was talking to Jim McDowell at Lebanon last night, and talking about what a great job Barry's done there. And I could go on and on. Michael Burt's starting the thing at Riverdale, and Hillary, and then I was fortunate enough to come in, and what Corey did, and now Randy, and I'm sure I'm leaving people off. Chad had a great run at Blackman with those kids, and they've had good kids, and we've all had good kids. But I think all those people are excellent coaches too, and they work at it. They get embedded in their middle school programs down there and make them a part of their program, and it's a neat place. It really is, and it was neat for me to be a part of, and it's it's known on a wide scale level, not only in Tennessee, like I said, but nationally. And I think it's a credit to the school system itself, because they support what's going on there in Rutherford County.
You talk about keeping y'all's role going for another couple of weeks. You feel like you're probably going to see Mount Juliet one more time in this district. You go into region play, and Rossview broke into the top 10 this past week. You had a chance to see Rossview at all?
I've seen him a couple times. I think Justin is an excellent coach. He's had a lot of success here lately with them, and they are a big team. They're physical. I think they rebound the basketball really well, and there was a lady in Knoxville once upon a time that said, if you want to win a championship, you better rebound. They definitely rebound, and had a chance to watch them, and and just trying to be proactive about the situation, about what could happen.
Right.
So we want to kind of cross every T and dot every I. But yeah, I've been really impressed with Rossview.
That's great. Hey, Before we get away from girls hoops, want to let you know our girls basketball player of the week, sponsored by Life Transformation 360 and Patton Sports. Ashley Chu, a senior guard from DeKalb County, averaged 24.5 points and a couple of road wins over there in District 8AA. Scored 22 in a 61-51 win at Murfreesboro Central last week. Scored 27 in a nail-biter over at Cannon County. The Lady Tigers came out with a 46-45 win. So Ashley Chu, our Life Transformation 360 Patton Sports Girls Basketball Player of the Week, will be getting her a gift card to Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe. When we come back, we're going to have Tyler Brown, the first-year Wilson Central boys basketball coach. We're going to talk a little boys hoops. Stay with us.
Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe, Nashville's answer to fast, friendly, healthy comfort food. With a menu featuring assorted grilled meats, fresh veggies, and a dash of inspiration, Taziki's casual dining is perfect for lunch, before a movie, or a dinner featuring laughter and great memories. Originality is our nationality. With 7 Middle Tennessee locations, one of them is near you. Check www.tazikiscafe.com to select your nearest location and next favorite dish. At National Playmakers Academy, developing NPA athletes comes in threes. NPA develops its student athletes' academic, social, and football-specific skills. Next, NPA develops them for better exposure today, recruitment tomorrow, and college education through scholarships for the rest of their lives. We are proud of the outstanding athletes we have developed. We are more proud of the college graduates we have prepared. Work with National Playmakers Academy for developing gifted athletes into productive citizens. As an Allstate agent in Murfreesboro, James Knight knows many local families. His knowledge and understanding of the people in this community helps him provide customers with an outstanding level of service. He helps families like yours protect the things that are important: your family, home, car, boat, and more. He's proud to work with a company like Allstate. As a small business owner, he understands the importance of building a solid foundation for the future and developing long-lasting customer relationships. When you leave his office, I hope you'll feel confident, informed, assured, and satisfied in your choices, the way you should feel. Logo My Logo continually beats the competition by 3 points: service, expertise, selection. Beyond promotional products, Logo My Logo delivers incredible service to its clients. Their service is only matched by their marketing expertise in presenting their clients in the most professional light. Logo My Logo's broad selection means that their clients have multiple options to communicate their brand strongly. Premier marketing solutions require service, expertise, and selection. And Logo My Logo keeps finding a way to win by those 3 points.
Hey, Tyler Brown, the first-year Wilson Central boys basketball coach, has been kind enough to join us here on the Patton Sports Podcast. Tyler, appreciate you stopping through.
Thanks for letting me come.
Hey, first-year guy, you come in here behind Troy Bond, who took the job over at Oakland over the off-season. What have you found over here?
Man, there's a lot of good kids. We're young still. We've got a lot of really good young kids. We start 2 sophomores on our varsity squad right now. We're still young. These kids play hard. I think there's a lot of talent coming up. There's a lot of stuff like that, even in the younger ranks, middle school-wise. This county's growing big, man. There's a lot of kids around here that can play and do some things. So it's been interesting.
Coming from Hickman County and Santa Fe most recently, but Hickman County is a big part of your background as well. A little bit of a culture shock for you?
No, I'm not necessarily from. I graduated in Alabama, and my wife's from this area, so we moved here after we got married. I was an assistant on the college level with Coach Shelton at Freed Hardeman. Actually was an assistant first at Columbia Academy with Marty DeJarnett over there. He's made a couple state tournament runs here lately, and got a chance to be a head coach in the girls basketball realm, and took it, and had some really good years at Santa Fe, then had 2 really good years at Hickman County, and just had a pull to want to get back into boys basketball. And the opportunity came open here, and it ended up happening, and it's been a great thing. I've really enjoyed it.
Well, and you talk about having been on the girls' side and coaching boys, and the guy that we just got done talking to, John Wild's got a lot of experience on both sides of the ball as well. And I've always kind of been fascinated by it. There's a guy over at Overton this year, Todd Douthit, who had coached for years on the girls' side. He's now in his first year coaching boys.
Yeah. This year, yes.
So, what have you found to be the difference, or a difference?
You know, there's a lot of things, really and honestly. With girls basketball, you can affect the game more from the coach's box, really and honestly. I found that to be something that's positive there. Girls tend to really follow and buy in and do things a little quicker than guys do. For the
Not that
most
we're
part.
stubborn or
well,
anything.
yeah, I mean, I know. But I mean, really and honestly, and I've kind of seen some of that here this year, but that's kind of turned pretty quickly. The guys have done a really good job here buying in. It took a little longer than what girls would, but there's not major differences, but there's little things like that that do make a difference in the course of a year, especially coming in first year.
Right.
So
This district, you talk about being young, this is not a forgiving district for that. I mean, Lebanon's having a great year. Obviously, Station Camp was undefeated until Saturday night. Troy Allen over at Mount Juliet does a great job. Bobby Luna's been at Gallatin forever. I mean, this is a tough district.
it's tough night in, night out, man. There is coming. That is one difference coming from other districts to this one. In other districts, you have what we would call off night. I mean, you have nights where you don't have to worry. There's nothing like that here, man. It's been, a lot of people, the talk when I first got here is the district was kind of down and those kind of.
You've not seen it,
It's
huh?
not. Well, when you look at all of our records and how the games have gone, and it's been exactly that way. I mean, even from 3 in the district down, every game we've played has been 3, 4, 5 points. A lot of them have been overtime wins and losses. I mean, most of our district games have been either an overtime loss or a 2 or 3 point win or a tip in at the buzzer. I mean, ours and Lebanon's game the last time went down to a tip in at the buzzer. We were down to Station Camp here 22 at half. It was a 4-point game with the ball in our hands with a minute and a half left. I mean, it's just that way night in, night out. There's no relaxing. This district is very, very good.
And when you say that, that makes the job that Seth Massey has done at Station Camp this year even more impressive, I would say.
He's done a great job, man. He's got a lot of kids that really can play. He's had to do a really good job with, I would guess, playing time and minutes and trying to keep everybody happy and those kind of things. But he's done a heck of a job, man. They have the pieces to do things really, really well, and he's done a really good job orchestrating that.
How far do you see that team potentially going?
I think it's up to them, really and honestly. I mean, they've proved that night in, night out. Now, they've had a lot of close games with a lot of people in our district. They're gonna have to see some of those teams again in the tournament. I think the other side's got a couple teams that could give them a run too. It all depends on them, man. If they play together like they've been doing, they got a chance to go as far as they want to.
Is Reed the X factor for them?
I think Reed does a really good job. Yalen has a chance to either be the difference maker or he has a chance to kind of Cadillac, and he gets caught in some of those moments sometimes, but I really think he is a huge difference maker. The shooter that they've got,
Freeman.
Well, Freeman's point guard. He is the puppet behind the master. He makes everything work. He does a good job for them. He settles them down when they need to. He speeds them up when they need to. He gives good looks to everybody. He does a good job, man. I definitely think he's one of the best point guards in our district, if not the best.
And quietly, because of Station Camp is having a year like they're having, a year like Lebanon's having, kind of goes under the radar.
I agree. Coach McDowell does a great job. Me and him have actually become pretty close friends this year. We talk a lot. I think he does a great job. He's got a senior in Tay Jackson that is cool as the underside of the pillow, as people want to say. I'm telling you, man, in game situations, he handles things masterfully. He's got a couple young kids, 2 sophomores, Malowski that's a shooter, Jackson inside as a post player just moved in, that are really contributing, but they've got a good group too. We've had some good battles. It's been fun.
This tournament, this District 9 AAA tournament up at Portland this weekend, you're looking to win one, I guess, at this point and get to the region. Is that?
Everybody wants to get to that point, and really and honestly, if you look at everybody's records, from 2 through 7, anybody can beat anybody. There's not just a clear-cut winner. Everybody in those situations have had close games. It could be anything. Beach and Hendersonville got a replay from their last game where Hendersonville win. They got to play each other again. There's a lot of stuff that could happen, man. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Unless you're coaching, huh?
Unless you're coaching, it's a little more stressful at that point.
Mo Patton Sports Videocast is brought to you by Snap Laces. Snap Laces' elite lacing system was designed for world-class athletes. They come in hundreds of color combinations so you can perform well and look great at the same time. Buy a set online today by clicking through the top image on mopattonsports.com. LT360 is a health and weight loss company based in Brentwood, led by Coach Scott Oatsvall and Brent High. They have helped more than 700 clients in the last year get healthy, lose weight, and feel better with an all-natural program and simple approach to exercise and nutrition. LT360 offers free health and wellness seminars each week. For more information, visit their website at lt360.com or call them at 615-312-8244. John Mayer Builders proudly sponsors Mo Patton Sports Videocast. With over 1,500 homes built in Middle Tennessee, John Mayer Builders knows the importance of families and communities. They have numerous business awards to their credit, proving that John Mayer Builders is built to win. Like them on Facebook. John Mayer Builders, our reputation is building.
I want to let you guys know our Snap Laces Boys Basketball Player of the Week this week, Pierce Whited, the junior guard over at White County. Have you had a chance to see White County this year?
I watched them play at Lebanon, and they are pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
They shoot the ball ridiculously well.
Well, last week in one of their 2 games, they hit 31 threes in a 107-75 win down at Ray County, big District 6 AAA win over there. Pierce hit 8 threes in that one, finished with 24 points. In their second game last week, he had 22 points, 5 threes, and a win over Cumberland County. They won that one 102-66. Eric Mitchell's got them running wide open.
I'm telling you what, man, they shoot the ball unbelievably well. It's unconscious.
Can you imagine putting up 68 three-pointers, let alone hitting 31 of them?
Well, you got to think of that. I mean, they had 107. That's over 95% of your points are coming from the three-point line. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you. He can sit back and drink a Mountain Dew and enjoy the game at that point.
How do you defend that is my question.
You pray and you try to pressure as hard, and you hope they have an off night. That's what you do.
Well, there you go. Well, Pierce Whited did not have an off night last week. Averaged 23 points, hit 13 threes in a pair of games. He is our Snap Laces Mo Patton Sports Boys Basketball Player of the Week. We'll be getting him a gift card to Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe. 7 locations in Nashville in the Middle Tennessee area. One of them's near you. Be sure and check it out. Tyler Brown, appreciate you taking some time to talk little boys hoops with us, and good luck to y'all this weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, I want to thank John Wild, the Wilson Central girls coach, and John Kramer, the Wildcats wrestling coach. If y'all get a chance and you're not watching basketball, head down to the Ag Expo down in Williamson County this weekend. Check out the state wrestling tournament. I'm Maurice Patton. We'll see you somewhere at some sporting event in high school mid-state action real soon.